Hey free-to-play gang, welcome back to another video. So today, I'm gonna show you guys a very powerful Shadowfire team. So as you can see over here, I just got like what? Wait, what? I got 25 million in one of my runs. Okay, amazing stuff. So that is beyond my best record ever. Okay, hold on, let me just absorb this for the time being. 25 million. What the heck? So I only just came around to do my Dislyte lens because I've just been blowing through all my stamina for whatever that's required to get an R6 Palmy. So now is the time that I can spend my stamina elsewhere. And how I got to this team, which is amazing. I'm almost at the top in my group. Okay, fantastic. But if you take a look at the world ranking, it's actually even more crazy. So as you can see, I'm currently averaging at about 17 million and I'm not even ranked at all. Like there are so many people who have much better score. Wait, hold on. Okay, maybe I should be around here somewhere, right? This just needs to reset and that's about it. So I actually went ahead to take a look at what people are doing and I actually just emulated whatever that they are doing. So for example, Dr. Otter here, his team is insane. So I just copied everything that I could copy, but except for his relics, because his relics is just on another level altogether. So take a look at his Chloe, right? He has 3,200 attack, which is pretty good. He has 205% crit damage, which is like insane. But on top of that, he has 75 extra speed. So he has lower crit rate because he has the Alice over here. But if you're not using Alice, you may want to consider having more crit rate. But of course, that is for the free-to-play lineup. Okay, so for now, I just want to talk a little bit more about the slightly not free-to-play comp, but it's not really not free-to-play as well. And I'll explain just a bit as well. Next up, he's using the Ira with the Astral set, and he has plus 174 speed. That is insane, dude. The speeds on his team is it's incredible, dude. 179 on Ocean Waves. And Asanath as well. Ocean Waves 186. Crazy shit. And finally, his R6 Zora. So now, the reason why R6 Zora is so good for this content is because whenever one of your allies attack, she has a chance to assist the ally. She has a 15% chance to assist the ally, which is something that I'm using as well. But I'm gonna explain why this is so broken. But anyway, before we continue this video, I just want to thank Duke from my Discord server for giving me all the information that I need, and he helped me so much along the way, and I'm able to create something like this, a very powerful team that is able to function really well right now. So as far as I'm aware, it is 100% EX++, and of course on top of that, it just overkills with the score as well. So it's a very powerful team. So let's take a look at my relics, which is a lot more tame as compared to what he had. As compared to what Dr. Otter had. So I have less attack, I have less crit damage, less speed, but I have a lot more crit rate because I just want to play safe, right? So I just want to play safe even though I'm running an Alice. And my Ira here, also on the Astral set, with a lot less speed, 30 less speed. And next we have Anki Chai. Don't even look at my speed, man. It's incredibly nonsense. But I found that this worked even with him being at plus 75 speed, because I ran him at plus 75 speed before changing up his relics a little bit, and he still performed perfectly fine. And of course we have the Asanath here with 177 on Windwalker. So this is how bad my relics are, right? If you can, you be the judge for yourself, right? And of course my Zora here with not so important for stats. She's just here for the AoE damage just to get rid of the eyes. But of course, there is a lot more in her kit on top of that, and especially because of her R6. But it is not necessary that you have her at R6. It is just a plus. And finally, we have Alice, who is my fastest Esper, and the reason why I need her to be super fast is because of Chronos. So I want to use her in both Chronos and in this content, so I need her to be super fast. Okay, so let's take a look at the run, and then I'll explain more about what the free-to-play comp is going to look like towards the end of this video. And I'll also explain why Zora's R6 is so powerful, right? But yeah, let's just take a look at her R6 for a sec over here. So I actually wanted to make an R6 video, but I guess, you know what, it doesn't even make sense because this content is not really so much about Zora's R6, but for the fact that this team is just so broken. But her R6 definitely helps. So take a look at this, right? Keen Edge, whenever an ally attacks, Zora has a 50% chance to assist with Keen Edge, which is her first skill. So she has a very small chance of assisting with her normal attack, but that is going to be good enough for us. Alright, so let's do one run, and let me just explain along the way. So, as you can see, buff, and what's happening here is that Ira is just pumping the Brisingament's Watch buff onto Chloe, which gives Chloe a lot of turns. So all of the Espers on this lineup, we have Alice who's giving more assist, which is usually going to be Chloe. We have Anki Chai who is going to increase his own AP. We have Ira who increases AP, gains turns, etc. A lot of stuff, right? So ideally what this comp is supposed to do is to channel a lot of turns and a lot of attack into Chloe. So she's going to get her cooldown reset all the time because of Anki Chai, because of the Brisingament's Watch buff. Maybe not the buff, but because of the skill itself that Ira has. So Chloe is gonna spam her third skill like crazy. She's gonna use it so freaking frequently, and that is what we need to get a really good score. So Chloe don't need speed at all. It's not essential, although it really does help a bit, but she don't need speed because all she needs is just a little bit of speed and a lot of AP pushing from the Brisingament's watch itself. And that's how you're gonna channel it. And why Zora at R6 is so powerful with her is because whenever Zora attacks, whenever she assists, that actually increases the AP of Brisingament's watch as well, which is gonna further push further push Chloe's AP, which is what's gonna give her a lot of turns. So you must notice that there's a lot of AP up on Chloe over here, right? Every single time one of my allies take a turn, look at it. Zora attacks again, AP up, AP up, AP up. A lot of AP up on Chloe, and that's how she's gonna do an insane amount of damage for us. Okay, so here comes the 18 times multiplier, and let's see how much damage Chloe can do. And I did use Ocean Waves on her so that she cycles her skills a lot faster as well, so I don't really need to rely too much on cooldown reductions. I don't really need to rely too much on like taking more turns. I can rely a little bit on Ocean Waves, which is good because she is going to take multiple turns. Look at it. So she already procced another Ocean Waves, or right now it's called Ocean Set. Yeah, so she's going to spam her third skill a lot. There you go, look, another third skill up like that, right? So really nice, and of course the Brisingament's watch buff on her again, which further reduced her cooldown again, so she's probably going to be able to use her third skill very soon. Maybe the next turn, yeah. I think on the next turn, if she can get a turn again, she is definitely going to use her third skill. Is it possible? I think it's possible. Might be possible. AP up, nice! There you go, 966,000, all because of Chloe. And there we go, 18.5 million score. So I'm not sure how I got 25 million. She probably took like, I don't know, like 5 third skill or something like that. I'm actually really not sure how that happened. But yeah, it did. This is completely RNG based, but the thing is, even your lowest end of RNG is still gonna get you somewhere around like 12 million score. So it's a guaranteed EX++ minimally, which mind-bogglingly insane. But I must also mention one thing. So if you're gonna be using R6 Zora, you need to be very careful, because if you take a look at this clip over here, what you will notice is that when your Zora actually assists too much, she would actually push the attack of the Shadowfire boss, and then the Shadowfire boss is actually going to counter-attack you before you can heal yourself, right, your Chloe. So in some situations over here, Chloe actually died, and that is actually part of the problem, which is why, if you take a look at my Chloe over here, I actually gave her quite a decent amount of HP. She has plus 16,500 HP, and she has a good chunk of defense as well to make her a little bit more tanky, so that she actually survives in case Zora assists way too much and the boss just counterattacks way too early. Now this is the free-to-play rendition of the previous lineup, but the thing is, this team is definitely not going to be as strong for several reasons, because number one, you're not going to have the speed buff that Alice brings, you're not going to have the crit buff that Alice brings as well, so your Chloe would need to have more crit rate, more innate crit rate, so that she can guarantee more effective hits. And of course, on top of that, you're just lacking a little bit in terms of like extra DPS. So for example, in the Zora example, she's able to take multiple turns, which further pushes Chloe's AP. So that is actually very effective as well. But I think the main thing is probably the speed buff that Alice brings. So I'm not sure whether you remember, but there is one Esper who is the free-to-play Alice, and that is none other than Daniel. So let's take a look at his stats over here. So the way that I built him is just HP, and I try to push a little bit more crit damage, but it's not possible with the relics that I have. So I just gave him a like full crit rate instead. So this is probably going to help him do a little bit more damage, because his third skill actually scales according to his max HP. So you need to speed tune him alongside with Jiangman to ensure that Jiangman uses her third skill first before Daniel uses his third skill, so that Daniel can help to pop some of the Nether Bloom debuffs and also deal some AoE damage as well. So here's the stats of Jiangman, very typical. But anyway, so this is the free-to-play comp. Let's take a look at how this works. So what you notice is that there is a little bit of RNG in this setup, which means it sometimes may or may not perform the best, especially since like my relics, they are not like perfectly tuned for DPS, especially for my Alice and Daniel. But if you're able to accommodate or to give them the required stats, right, the crit damage, the crit rate, everything, you're able to make them very powerful, then they would definitely be more than enough to clear the ice stage. But for me right now, I didn't really invest too much into these two Espers, especially my Daniel, so his output is not good at all. So I just gave him the crit rate to mitigate all of that, right? So we're gonna start off with the third skill here, land the debuff, right? And our goal now is just clear all the ads as fast as we can. And hopefully we are able to do so as well. We are doing a decent job, I guess. So there is a bug in Ira where when she uses her third skill, she's only able to attack select few enemies. But if those enemies are gone, she's actually not going to be able to land any more AoE attacks with her third skill. And I think that's about it. Yep, done. Okay, so we got rid of the ice, which is great. But like I said, you may need to invest a lot into Daniel and Jiangman in terms of DPS in order for you to achieve something like this, like a times 18 multiplier. And you will definitely need a times 18 multiplier in order to get EX++. Or at least with a setup like this. With a setup with not enough DPS output. But that's not the same for the previous comp, because that comp is so well like melded and tailored together that the Chloe is just gonna pop off so often. So let's just see how much damage we can do. Ideally, we need to hit about at least 510k, I think. I think 510 is like the sweet spot, which we should be able to do as long as Chloe gets another turn. Hopefully she gets another turn. Just push her AP more. Yeah, okay, that's it. Done. So Chloe's gonna use her second skill now. And that's it. EX++. So that's how you achieve EX++ the free-to-play way, but at the same time, this is also incredibly difficult to build because you need really good stats in order for this particular free-to-play comp to work. So yeah, there is that. So there you go, EX++. And yeah, it's not quite the same as the previous run, but because like I said, right, you need the speed buff on Alice, you need the crit rate buff to lower your Chloe's innate crit rate so that she's able to crit all her hits anyway. But yeah, so that's it for this video. Hope this helped you at all. If it did, right, if it did help you finally get your EX++, let me know in the comments as well. I will be very happy to know that I at least helped someone else out there. But if you already have a Gaius or you already have a Zora, you can definitely replace the Jiangman over there with the essential Gaius with the essential Zora. That is going to perform so much better for you. And of course, if you have Alice, or maybe you have Ashley as well, you can replace Daniel with those Espers because they are able to push a little bit more in terms of like DPS output or just generic support. So Alice is definitely the best Esper to support this current setup. But anyway, with that said, hope you guys enjoyed today's content. If you did, don't forget to give a thumbs up. It really helps the channel, and subscribe for more Dislyte content. Now with that said, this has been Free to Play, and as always, I will see you in the next video.